Hello there. Ooh, that was too cringe. Hello there. Hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Britney and this is the Architect of Hades. And today I want to show you how I personally do my offerings to Lord Hades, how I remove them, what things I say, and this idea was born from a request that was made in my Instagram, because every Scorpio moon I do live channelings with Hades for the community, for the collective, and I always tell you that if you feel that these messages resonated with you in some way, you are more than encouraged and welcome to give any type of offering you have at your disposal at the moment for Hades, as a thank you, as a gift, as a way to acknowledge the act of the message, and for all the wisdom and all the insights and things that come up during the reading that deeply resonate with you. And I honestly believe that giving offerings to our deities, to our spirit guides, to whatever spirit you work with, is an act of bonding that helps you to create a much more stronger relationship with them, that helps you connect with them on a different level. And it's also important to remember that offerings are, or should be, preferably be something or be an act that is born from the heart, from a pure intention of not even expecting something in return if you are just starting your practice, especially, and just as an act of interacting, of giving offerings, of giving gifts to these deities and spirits you wish to connect to, and also as a way to get you inside of the vibe, inside of the mood of how's their energy, how they interact inside of my life. You know the drill. Today I'm gonna show you how to do that, and if you're new here in my channel, be welcome. Here in the Architect of Hades we talk about a couple of different topics, and I am someone who enjoys variety, so that's also something I embrace in my channel. And here we talk about everything Hades, underworld witchcraft, Chthonic architecture, design, and a bunch of other topics like astral traveling, guided meditations, playing card readings, etc. So be welcome, and yes, I am an architect. It's not just the title, okay? So let's get started. The first thing you are gonna want to have is an offering, okay? For Hades we have many different types of offering you can give, starting with black coffee, okay? You can add maybe cinnamon, maybe some kind of essence to the coffee. If not, you can keep it completely simple with just black coffee, that's more than okay. With sugar, with no sugar, I found that, and also I must add that this information I'm gonna share with you right now, it's UPG, or unverified personal gnosis, based on my own experience, my own insights, and some of them have been shared with my community, and we have found some interesting common points, but this is mainly my experience with Hades. You want to have your offering, you have your coffee. When you're gonna prepare the offering, in this case beverages, we can do another video to talk about offerings more in depth. I want to keep this one short, but the most important thing you want to keep in mind when you prepare the coffee is to have the intention that this thing, this activity I'm performing, is part of a ritual. It doesn't have to be something too elaborate. You can definitely just brew the coffee, boil water, with the intention that this, what I'm doing right now, it's going to be an offering, okay? You can also have a specific bag of coffee for your deities, for your offerings. If not, you can use your regular one, the one you drink from yourself. In fact, right now I am drinking from the same coffee that was used to create this one as an offering, because this is an act of sharing, of communion, of talking together, sitting together to drink something and maybe to chat, or just to give you a gift, okay? Look at it in that sense. It's not really that complex to approach. deities, okay? Of course, each deity is gonna have a very different procedure, a very different set of rules, let's call them rules, to talk to them, to interact with them. So this is only gonna be for Hades. If you find that this resonates for other deities you work with, that's completely fine, and you're welcome to try this with them as well, okay? So when you have the intention, you're gonna brew your coffee with this feeling of this, it's going to be a gift, this is going to be an offering for Hades, for my deity. So you serve the cup, you make sure the cup is clean, okay? You make sure that this is cleansed physically, spiritually. You can just smoke this little cup you have if you want to deeply cleanse this recipient to be dedicated to your deity, preferably. And in the case of beverages, I prefer to use smaller cups. This is just because of it's Hades, and Hades is my Patreon, and I use a bigger cup just because I like this one. And then I discovered that this specific cup is used for coffee, so that was interesting to know and to discover later on the journey. But you can use these small cups. Let me show you. I have this as well, okay? And you can use smaller portions. It doesn't have to be a full cup if you don't want to, because we will go deeper into what to do with the offering after it's done. But if you don't enjoy wasting food, or if it's something you find not appropriate for your deity, or just because it's your value set, you can choose to have smaller proportions so you can discard beverage later. In the case of beverages, coffee, water, milk, I definitely do not consume those offerings just because they are sitting there in the wild. Okay, they are here in my environment. They are collecting dust when they spend the night on my altar. So I do not drink them. But when it comes to other type of offerings, I definitely eat them with, of course, the approval of Hades. And that just depends on the case. If it's a ritual, if it's something bigger, it's gonna depend on the case, okay? When you have your coffee, you're gonna come to your altar or to the space you have dedicated to have a time or spend a chat or a moment with Hades. If you are a complete beginner, or if you are, for example, some people in my community do not actively work with Hades, but they enjoy their messages, they enjoy my work, etc. So they will occasionally give offerings to him when they feel connected with their energy, with the messages we deliver and we talked about. So in that case, you don't necessarily have this space that I currently have set up. This is not the place of my altar, just for you to know. But you can just have your cup of coffee. You don't need anything else. I promise you do not need anything else. If you want to add something, you can add a candle. If you want to add another thing, you can use a symbolism of him. What could be some of his symbolisms? For example, a pomegranate, a skull. You could have those crystal skulls that are so cool that I've seen around, and you can use that as an element to draw power, to be the center, the image, the physical element of the representation of Hades. That object, it's going to be entirely of your own decision, okay, and the one you feel more called to, okay? So if you don't have anything else, or if you just want to give the offering, you have your cup and you're gonna put it somewhere where you are going to be in peace, where you're going to be in silence for a few moments, and then you're gonna proceed to the ritual to giving the offering. Second case, you have your altar. You're gonna light your candle. In my case, I already have it lit. The candle still is already burning because I already called him and I already recited his hymn just to invite him into the space earlier. But if not, you're gonna light your candle. You can give an incense as well. That's just a plus, okay? You could light an incense, and then you can decide to recite his hymn deity or for him that I'm gonna link below for you to have it. And or if not, you just want to make sure to call him. In the tradition of in the ancient Greece, I know that we do not normally call them, or we shouldn't normally call them the ancient Greeks or the ancient religion, because for matters of topography they were classified, or they understood their lives as individual regions and polis. So the term ancient Greece doesn't really compels, but for the purposes of this video and to make things simple in this video, we're gonna call them this way, okay? In ancient Greece, the Greek gods were believed to be summoned just by naming them, just by calling their names, okay? Of course, there are procedures that I'm not gonna dive into because this is not a historically accurate video, but there are procedures you can follow to call for a deity, to invoke them into your space. So if we are not gonna follow the historical aspect, then what are we gonna do? We're gonna call him. Something very easy you can say. It's just stating, Lord Hades, God of the dead and King of the underworld, I call you now. Please listen to my words, please listen to my prayers, and please join me right now in this moment, because I want to present an offering to you. This is just something I've come up with because I recite his hymn and I have another procedure, but the more honest the calling is from you, the better. The most important thing you need to remember when you talk about deity work in general is that you're gonna want to make this process as personalized as possible. Of course, you can use templates. Of course, you can get inspired by other practitioners, by things we share, but you want to take that and adapt that to your life, to your circumstances, okay? So that would be one way of doing things. And let me just take out some wax, because his candle is already is almost dying, and I don't want to change it yet because it still has wax. You know what I mean? Now, that would be the simple method. You call him Lord Hades, God of the dead and King of the underworld. You preferably want to use the titles of the deity. I call for you, please join me right now, and because I want to give you an offering for the wonderful divination session we had the other day, for example, and I want to present to you this offering. Okay, now what do? You take the offering and you're gonna place it somewhere, visualizing that, oh, yes, we are running low in candle wax. Sorry. Oh, it died. It died. Hold on. So, Hades' candle died in the middle of the video. Okay, so it's interesting because this is the second time I do the recording of this video, so I think this is going to be a little pause. And it's also curious because in the first version of the video I also taught you and show you how you can consecrate and cleanse a candle for Hades. So let's take this as a sign, and let me show you as well how you can cleanse and consecrate a candle for Hades, which is also super simple. Okay, so what do I have here? I have a silver candle, completely UPG. I found that he enjoys silver candles, and I found that he enjoys silver candles so much. And I remember a time I used a golden one because I didn't have a silver candle, and the energy felt so ick. And it's weird because in tradition, in the mythology of Hades, not only of the god but also in the underworld, gold is a very important element, because the gates of the underworld, the doors of the underworld are made in gold, and the keys that the judges of the underworld hold are of gold. Okay, so I don't know, it's just something interesting. Weird for me, but he just enjoys silver candles for me. But if you feel called to use gold ones or black ones, that's completely fine. So when you buy an object, whatever kind of object, this element, this piece carries certain energies with it, okay? So you want to cleanse this object to be able to use that in another context, okay? Let's say you buy a pair of jeans at the store. You're not gonna wear them immediately because a lot of people have touched that jean, maybe even tried them on, and you don't want that to be, you don't want to be the host of all those energies in your body and in your space. So you want to wash that. You want to wash those jeans for them to be used. That's exactly the same way we're gonna do with the candle. So you're gonna grab your candle, you're gonna grab an incense. I like to use incense, but you can use fleur de water, you can use even your own hands, your own energy, you can use bells, chimes, whatever you have at hand. I am a vicious of incense, addicted to incense, so I'm gonna use incense. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna shower the shower the candle with this incense, and I'm gonna say the following: I cleanse this candle from any and all negative energies. I cleanse this candle from any and all previous intentions, programming, intentions, energies, attachments, spirits or parasites or entities that might be attached to it. And I cleanse this candle to be an element that it's pure, that it's reset, to be used for my intentions and desires. More or less words. You're gonna have this object, this candle, that is now completely in zero. It's reset. Now you're gonna program this candle with a purpose, okay? In this case, I'm gonna program this candle. I'm gonna give you the power to be a point of connection between Lord Hades and myself as a physical element in my real world. It's not like Hades is in the candle. Of course not. Hades is not in the candle. He's not in the image. He's not even in the holder of the cards. He's all around me, as most and all of Greek gods. But I want to use this as a medium of communication between him and I. Direct communication, okay? I usually do this to charge the candle. And now what I'm gonna say, it's exactly the same with the cleansing but with the programming. This candle now belongs to Lord Hades, god of the dead and king of the underworld, to be a medium of communication between him and I. And may you use this candle to deliver any type of messages, insights, emotions, or anything you wish to tell me at a certain moment. May this candle belong to you. And if you have an incense that you consecrated or really like to give to Hades, you can also make that this smoke washes or showers this whole candle, reinforcing that intention that this candle now belongs to Hades and it's a medium of communication, you know. Some people like to make carvings on the candle. I don't usually do because it's too much time consuming and these candles really go really quickly. So I just cleanse them and program them, okay? So now I just make sure that this candle doesn't fall, and I will do something like this, and I'm gonna locate it here. Sometimes I take the wax out of the vessel, sometimes I leave it there. It just really depends on the amount of wax I have over there. For the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. And you could also add some kind of oils if you really want to. Sometimes I add oils, but right now I just feel called to leave it like this, okay? So I know you're here, Lord Hades, but I am going to recreate the whole process with a prayer, okay? So I'm gonna light the candle. And I forgot to cut the wick, but that's okay. And I'm gonna proceed to call him with the Orphic hymn, okay? Lord Hades magnanimous, whose realms profound are fixed beneath the firm and solid ground, in the Tartarian plains remote from fight, enwrapped forever in the depths of night. Terrestrial Jove, thy sacred ear incline. Please accept thy mystic team divine. Earth's key to thee illustrious can belong, its secret gates unlocking, deep and strong. This thine, abundant and in fruits to bear, for needy mortals are thy constant care. To thee, great King of earnest is assigned, the seat of gods and basis of mankind. Thy throne is fixed in Hades' dismal plains, distant and unknown to rest, where darkness reigns, where destitute of breath fell spectres dwell, in endless, dire, inexorable hell, and in dread Acheron whose roots obscure, and the civil roots eternally secure. Almighty demon whose decision dread the future fate determines of the dead, with captive Persephone drawn in a fortress carved with lucent rains, wrapped toward the deep, impelled by love, you flew to us in a city burst of you. There, in a wondrous cave obscure and deep, this secret made secure from search of you. The cave of Athis, whose white gates display an entrance to the kingdom's word of day. Of unapparent works, you art alone, the dispensator, visible and known. Opera rolling, holy, honor thy light, the sacred poets and their hymns select, propitious to the mystics' works incline, rejoicing come, for holy rites are done. Lord Hades, God of the dead and King of the underworld, I call you now, please come to me now, please join me today. Okay. This is an offering of coffee for you, as a thank you, as a way to honor you, and a gift from me for you being in my life, for helping me every day, for being present, and for all the marvelous things we learn together, and for all the things you teach me. And this is an offering for you that will last here for a while, maybe for a couple of days. And I will take this, I will discard it after it is fully consumed, or whenever you want to let me know that the offering is done. Thank you so much. Okay, so what you just saw was the actual procedure I make to give an offering to him, and add the words you feel more called to. You preferably want to express for how long the offering will be there. For beverages, I usually leave them or let them sit until I see some kind of mold on it. I don't know, it's weird. It's kind of like a representation of the process of decomposition and death, you know, that kind of process. I just feel it's right, and he's fine with it, so I leave it there, beverages, and whenever I see that, usually it's like it could be 2 or 3 days that the offering can be sitting there. When I finish that, when I know that the offering is ready, it will be the time to take that. Okay? But before that, if you don't want to make or to leave the offering here for 3 days or 2 days or 1 day, you can use this as a space from this point on to communicate, to talk with him, to expand on why you are calling him today, why are you presenting this offering, and just let it go. Just talk with him, okay? Don't feel that scared maybe to give that first step. This is how relationships are established, how connections are made, okay? You can have cards. If you don't have cards, you can just express your feelings, ask maybe for a sign, maybe a confirmation, and then you finish the process, and you can say something like, I will now take your offering from your altar just because I don't have a specific place to leave this here, or it's a little bit dangerous because I have cats, for example, or I have kids, and I don't want that danger in my home. So this will be just a temporary offering, which is completely fine. That's completely okay. And whenever you want to proceed to finish the interaction or to take the offering from the altar or from another place, what you're gonna do is, if you leave it there for a couple days, you're gonna want to call him again, or if not, you just approach the altar with respect, with intention, with honor, okay? And with pure intentions, of course. Not like I am here and I'm taking all the things and I'm picking everything to take that to the kitchen. No, you want to be intentional with the thing you're doing. And you're gonna take the offering and you're gonna be like, this offering is no longer or this cup of coffee is no longer an offering to Lord Hades. It's now a regular cup of coffee. I hope you liked and enjoy it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You want to add something else, you can definitely do that, okay? And you then proceed to discard the object, because now you are proclaiming that this element is no longer an offering. It's now a regular cup of coffee, okay? Which is not, by the way. So this is indeed an offering for you. Thank you so much for being here today and for helping us doing this video, okay? So that's pretty much how you give an offering to Lord Hades, okay? I will link below in the description some things that you could benefit from, like some other type of offerings you can give to Hades, the link to his Orphic hymn, if you want to recite that, or if you want to learn or read about that more, you're gonna find that down in the link. Also my social media, go follow me on Instagram because I'm very active on my stories, and yeah, I'm just wanting to talk more about these topics here on YouTube, so you are more than welcome to subscribe, to like the video, to share this, and to leave me a comment about what you thought about this video. If you want to share something from your practice with me or with the community, feel free to do that. If not, that's totally fine. And let me know if you want to know more or anything else about deity work with Hades. Okay, so hope you like this video, and I will see you in the next one.